always wondered if I don't say okay, does it not record, or is it just kind of like just politely letting me know that
That's a
this is
very good question. Will it just stop? Will it
You're
just...
right, right. It's just no. Very
Well,
consent-based Zoom.
all right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Voiced By. Today we are joined by someone who is not from Wuthering Waves. I know, very shocking. It is someone I am very excited to speak with, and someone that I know a lot of you are very excited to hear from. So, a very warm welcome to Brian Villalobos.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm in space. I
Yes,
just basic, but that's I was just like,
it
well,
looks amazing. It looks amazing.
thank you. Thank you. I
Um,
worked very hard. No,
So,
no.
just to briefly explain the format of the show for you and for anyone who might be watching for the first time, it's sort of an informal interview series where we, as voice actors, discuss voice acting and any other silly things that may come up. There are sort of 4 segments that we're going to try and go through, and the first is just a bit of, ice breaking, talking a little bit about you and your background and your work, and then we're going to go into what I call sort of theory crafting, which is just a very unserious, speculative look at some of the gaps in the stories of games that you might have worked on. And then we'll talk a bit about your range, because I'm sure that there are many sides to you that maybe people haven't heard yet. And then lastly, we're just going to talk a little bit about, community interaction, memes, all those kind of lovely, silly moments. So, to get started, where might the viewers know your voice from?
Only a couple places. I feel like it would probably either be Destiny
I knew if I didn't pick up that phone, I'd regret it for the rest of my life.
or Pokémon Horizons.
I am Director Clavell, head of Naranja Academy, and this is my colleague, the chairwoman.
There's some other stuff, but I don't. It's not out yet, so that wouldn't be
Yeah, let's not go there.
applicable. Yeah. Sure.
Well, so
Definitely.
apart from being a voice actor, you are actually a very experienced screen actor as well. You are an award-winning one, even. You've been in Emmy-nominated series like Love and Death. You're also in a film called Man Finds Tape, which sounds incredibly intriguing and which is a very recent release.
Yeah, it just came out. It may still be playing in a couple theaters in the United States, but it's also on streaming.
But you are also
Yes.
in Man Goes on Rant. Is that just a
Yeah.
happy coincidence, or is there a link between these stories that maybe isn't apparent?
There is not a link between those stories. That is absolutely a coincidence. I mean, it follows this construction of like a newspaper headline.
Right. Yes,
But
that makes
I
sense.
mean, just a total coincidence. And they're very, very, very different films. But both of them made with people whom I love, and both of them stories that are very near and dear to my heart for different reasons. I mean, Man Goes on Rant is like an entirely different kind of deconstruction of COVID, and it also uses a lot of documentary footage, but it kind of is sort of a guy spiraling down through an internet rabbit hole as he tries to piece together the last 20 years of American history. So
Wow. Well, I mean, maybe one day there will be a man cinematic universe where, the titular man goes somewhere else. Man goes to space, perhaps.
yeah, hey, there you go.
Well,
This is a preview.
yeah, exactly. The
The
sneak
effects
peek.
budget hopefully will be a little higher, but who knows? I don't know. This looks pretty good.
Do you find that having so much screen experience helps you in voice work? Do you feel like any of it carries over?
I am still learning about that. So Lodi, kind of all the stuff with Lodi, sort of that expansion came out this year. Pokemon Horizons, that was, I think, gosh, sort of debuted last year
Mm.
sometime. I'm still very new to the voiceover world. So I come from this sort of like on camera world where, like, I've been doing it long enough that I feel fairly comfortable, at least in what I do or my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's a process, isn't it, of adapting?
The ins and outs just from doing it for years and years and years. But voiceover, I have tried to approach it as much as possible as just like, no, it's all about the same thing. I mean, all acting is truth. All acting is sort of like personal revelation, and connection. But it's very different in some technical ways. In that, like, often your scene partner is not there
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. Like sometimes you're shooting a scene and like for whatever reason you have to do it to like an X on a on a matte box, or like you have to you know constrictions of or constraints about how you're shooting the scene. You can't look someone in the eyes.
Yeah.
And so much to me of performance, I don't know for you, but so much of it is just like looking into someone's eyes and just sort of
No,
experience,
absolutely.
right? And I think with voiceover, obviously, often um, the issue is that you're in a booth and you're being fed things, and there's there are wonderful directors and people who are filling context, and you're reading with someone who's often reading with you, but it's not the person, and you just can't look at them. Um, so it's different. There are definitely things about approach to performance and approach to a character and to a story that I carry over. But it's also been interesting to find the differences. Usually, as an actor, you have all your faculties, you have everything available to you, and sometimes it's a juxtaposition between what you're saying and what your face is doing,
Yeah.
right? There are times when I'll get in my head about it and be like, and I'll do a take, and then I listen back to it and I go, oh, that's incredibly flat. And I think it was just because and I'm like, right, because my face isn't available to me.
I was going
Absolutely.
to ask about the performance capture now that you brought it up. Did you
Yeah.
get to do that first, at least, so you kind of had a physical entry point, and then you went and did the voiceover?
So we did like a preliminary booth session, I think the day before we left. The performance capture was in Stockholm
Yeah.
at this incredible company called Goodbye Kansas. And they do wonderful, like just stunning work. There are obviously incredibly gifted voice actors who voice the characters, but then and then the process of I feel so fortunate to have been able to do my own capture and then also do the performance, because I feel like that's just so much more natural and organic and so much easier than having having a physical performance and then matching your voice to it, or vice versa. And it's a fascinating, I mean, I stepped on that stage and I was like, I never want to do anything else. This is amazing. It is to put the rig on and whatever, and it just it looks like Avatar or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I mean, literally, I'm still pinching myself. It's tremendous.
No, absolutely. Well, do you feel like then that this character or this game, perhaps Destiny and Lodi, does that feel like a breakout moment for you in terms of voice acting or games work?
By default, it is what I would consider at least the first step toward
Yeah.
that, just because it's like,
Well, it's
I
a
don't know.
massive exposure,
At
isn't it,
least in
from one
games.
day to the
Well, I
other?
don't know. That's what I'm saying is I don't know. I don't know if I think things like that are only, you can only see them in retrospect, but certainly it's like this massive pre-existing universe and um thing that exists that I somehow stumbled into being able to take part in. So I don't know. I've done two or three things that people might have heard of. If there is one, I guess it's that. Absolutely. If I could.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
love,
mean, Destiny
who knows?
characters can stick around for a long time. So I
They
mean,
sure can. Yeah,
let's
they can.
let's hope.
But I no, I feel a very strong connection to this character in particular. So
Well, I'm curious about, as an actor, when you're coming into a project that has been going for so long, like you said, there are actors there who maybe have been working on this for almost a decade, played lots of different characters, and they're so settled into this universe. Your character, so
right.
for anyone who has not played this or doesn't know this story, your character's from the 60s. And you come into what is, I suppose, for us, the future, right? How do you, as an actor, try and find that balance of coming into a setting and a world and a story that's already established with characters that all seem like they are part of one universe, and you have to be deliberately different, but still
absolutely.
feel like you can integrate in that story?
First of all, the people who write and create this game are utterly brilliant. The people who make this game absolutely love this story. At least as far as the people I've met, and they're all incredibly enthusiastic, and they get very excited about the thing, and it's such a gift to work with incredibly talented people who are incredibly excited about the world they're creating. This character in the story, obviously, is crafted brilliantly and very intentionally and very thoughtfully. So because of the way they wrote it and the way they cast it, as in, first of all, I didn't know what I was auditioning for, as is so often the case,
Common.
I'm sure. Yeah. And there's sometimes where you're like, yeah, you're not telling me, but I can tell.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes
they're
it's
like this, and I feel like sometimes there's this like, we're not saying it, but we also kind of want to help you along and like,
yeah.
give you the world. This was something where I had no idea, and they gave references to like, I don't know, different shows that had, I'll say, like governmental
Yeah.
intelligence agencies. Like it was that kind of thing, and they're talking about like sort of Men in Black organizations.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, but then the sides were so human. They were so internal. It was so someone dealing with different things and being sort of like astounded by the world around him, that I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel very structured and governmental. This feels like a human being going through something.
Yeah. Well, it's the trust again, isn't it? It comes back to the
Yeah,
trust.
absolutely. To me, acting a lot of times comes down so much to trust. If you get lucky, you're in the hands of people who are going to craft something incredible around you and with the pieces that you give them. Like, yeah, one of the first conversations we had, they were like, we're so excited. This is unlike anything we've ever done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what have you guys not done? And they're like a dude, just a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's me. There was initially this thing of like, oh, so like now they're just putting dudes in Destiny?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, we'll see how this goes. This will be interesting. But yeah, so I was stepping into this role that like is all the things that we were talking about, where he's like, he's just this regular dude. He's just this and this and this. But also, periodically, he will become possessed essentially by a planet, and that planet will speak through him. And there is one of the planets, or one of the celestial bodies, the sun,
Yeah. Okay.
that speaks through him, and then is also sort of brilliant kind of personalities worked out for the planets. And so again, this is just a thing where I leaned heavily on the expertise and the fact that they'd been living with this story that they'd created for so long, and that they were so invested in, and they had answers for just about anything. So I just kind of was like, I don't know, I'm gonna try to just not put anything on it. And then I think they were like, yeah, this guy sounds like just a dude. In some ways, it was incredibly helpful to be stepping into this world where I was like, okay, this has been here for many, many years, and I haven't been privy to it, and I've been thrown into it, and I'm supposed to just be sort of astounded and kind of confused and worried I'm going to screw things up, but also very excited, and like that's what I'm supposed to play. And I was like, well, that is very, very germane to my situation. But then I also like on the flight over and before, I was just cramming lore videos and trying to get as much into my head as I possibly could. But then also like, this guy doesn't know anything about the world he's stepping into, and he's just doing his best. So he's an improviser. He leads with like trying to connect with people and ask for help. And well, sort of, he's also a bit cagey. So I don't know. I felt a kinship with him for many, many reasons.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are also things about him where he's a giant people pleaser. He's a linguist. I'm very drawn to language, and there were a lot of things on the page where I was like, oh, that's very close to me.
And I mean, Lodi is literally man goes to space, isn't he? Like we're back to that now. I mean,
absolutely. I don't know if you've had this experience, and you've streamed games that you have played in. So I want to hear what your experience of it is. But like whenever I watch something that I'm in, or ever I play something that I'm in, I think I'll relate it specifically to on camera, because that's what I have more experience in. Like there are many, many times where it is hard for me to take in the thing that I was part of, because I remember what it was like on set, and I remember what the process was, and I remember in the moment what I was like imagining the scene to be, and then I remember the script, and I have that version of the film, or the property in the story in my mind, and then the thing, and I'm like, oh well, on set we did it like that, and then I would say like 7, 8 out of 10 times, like there's always something different, right? There's in the final product, it's like, oh, like the rhythm of this, or the rhythm is different. Often it's a speed thing like that. Like, oh, there was a larger spot. Like I just have this sense memory of being there and what I thought it would be like. And then doing it the first time kind of throws it off. And then I usually have to watch it again. And sometimes it's not for a couple months with most things. There's some things where I immediately go like, this works or this doesn't work. But there are other times where I need to go through it a few times. With this, I don't have the onset sort of. I remember what it was like for me in the booth. I remember what the performance capture was like, but I didn't see any of this. And then it's so much of a vastly different experience to play through something because I go, oh, that's what I was talking about when I said that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? And it's just this. There's so much that is unseen and so much that is crafted by so many people.
My experience is I find it incredibly fascinating to watch because, as you say, it's so many people's work coming together that we wouldn't have seen when we were working on it. I don't hear the music that someone's composed. I don't see the animation. I don't, get to see all the other bits of the story or the characters. Yeah. So watching how that all comes together, I think, is really interesting. And I very rarely think of it as, oh, that was me, because... Right. So it's different, again, I suppose, because Lodi, you actually did performance capture for the character. The character looks more like you. My character's like a blonde elf. So it doesn't exactly look like me.
But that's awesome. That's so cool.
And again, it's not my voice. Like it's a character voice. So
sure.
So there was more of a degree of separation. But I was just surprised by how immersed I've been in the story. Yeah. Like I got very sad because the character story is sad, and I was like, I knew what was coming, and I still got sad. So I just think that's it. Just shows, I think, that. For anyone who has asked that question, even when you're an actor, and you know the story and you were part of doing it, you still kind of want to see how it comes together. We also want to be told the story, even if we work on the story. So,
we're exactly like you get invested. You kind of in an ideal situation, you fall in love as much as you can with this with the story that you're presented, because that's ideally why you're doing it, because you care about it. You're like, oh, I relate to this character. I want to see that story. I want to, also, like, just very basically, I just want to see the other half of the conversation.
Yeah. Skipping from Destiny for one second. I want to go back to the fact that your handle is Lobocop. So I gathered that you like Robocop.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you keyed into that, because there are other times when people are like, so you're a police officer? And I go, no, I'm not. I'm not.
I mean, that could also be the case.
It could be. And so that's a film that I saw as a kid.
Yeah.
I liked many other films. I should also say, and then I watched it as an adult and I realized oh, this is not, it is a movie where a robot cop shoots a lot of people, but it is also a deep satire of American violence, American media, thinking about it for too long. But yeah, boy. It's a good fight. It's a good fight, at least.
Fair enough. Well, segueing into then, 80s robots. So who would win then? Robocop versus the T-800?
Robocop versus Terminator? Yeah. So this has been there was a whole comic series called Robocop versus Terminator.
Yeah.
Because they always have to they do these things like Aliens versus Predator, or Robocop versus Terminator, and then they kind of have to decide which one of them is the good guy. Like with Aliens versus Predator, they were kind of like, well, they're both quote unquote monsters. Which one is closer to humans, whatever. And then they're kind of like, well, the aliens are obviously the bad guy, the Predators, whatever. I have to say, T-800, I think it's a pretty fair fight. But the T-1000, I think, would kind of mop the floor with Robocop. I don't know. I'm sure that's happened somewhere. So I'll have to check my math here and
okay. Well, I did ask about the 800, so I suppose we say that will be a tie. Again, if Lodi was going to go on a mission as a fire team, so with two other characters on some important mission, solve some mystery of the Nine, maybe the Sun even, who would he bring as his second and third, do you think, of the characters that you've met in the game?
I thought about this, and Drifter and Ikora. And Ikora, I think they have a connection, and he respects her tremendously. And I think defers to her in some ways, and then also there's I think that's definitely, if there was like a movie of that mission, like Ikora would have to be involved.
And I know that you are also bilingual. You speak Spanish fluently.
Yes. And you speak Danish?
I do speak Danish, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean it's not quite as commonly used in games, so I mean
Yeah, fair.
it's less it's very specific. But do you find that have you had a chance yet to use that? Have you been able to use that, or is it something you would like to use going forward? You know, the ability to speak other languages.
Oh, absolutely. I have been able to, and I do frequently. Both on. I have had many more opportunities because I speak Spanish. And then sometimes just they're looking for someone of a particular. They're like, we want someone with like an actual Latin American background. Like my father's from Costa Rica. I grew up there a bit, and they. Like, or they'll ask for some like an accent that like, but they're like, but we want an accent like from someone who like has lived there or been there or is of that descent. And I'm like, well, that's me. So there are many things. There are many times I've been able to use it, and I absolutely love it. Again, sort of in line with Lodi, I'm fascinated by language and sort of etymologies and sort of differences both between languages and within like regionalisms of languages and different slang and because within Spanish there, as I'm sure there is within Danish, there are vast but related differences,
of course,
that are just truly fascinating. I mean, like accents, yes, but even different words for things, but then even different, like there's a thing in Spanish where like if you're being informal about something, you will take a word and change the emphasis, like change the syllable that gets emphasized, which is something I grew up with. And then like spreading out, I was like, oh, that doesn't really have an analog in any other language that I've experienced. And I haven't experienced many languages, but like there's nothing like that in English.
I mean, that kind of leads us naturally into something that people watching the show really enjoy, which is when we kind of do like line swaps. And obviously we haven't worked on the same game, so it's not like we have a shared reference. But I thought one thing that might be interesting, if you're up for it, is that we could take an iconic line each from our character, and we could kind of say, well, what would happen if the other character said that in their setting?
So we're talking about transposing that line into the story and world of Wuthering Waves?
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. I mean, this is a crazy experiment, but it's something that's never been done. So I mean,
yeah. Okay. Would you like to go first, or should I?
Well, yeah. Well,
how do we? Yeah. I'll give you mine. You give me yours.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, so this is a line that I have not performed, but I haven't heard in game yet. And the line is, if I set myself on fire, no one else has to.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting because I think that will translate perfectly to my character and the setting of Wuthering Waves, because my character is also a very self-sacrificing character. Sure. Let me give it a try, and
absolutely.
And we'll see what it is. Okay. So the line is, if I set myself on fire, no one else has to?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I set myself on fire, yes.
Okay. If I set myself on fire, no one else has
to. That's great. That's awesome.
So she transforms into a different aspect of herself. There's like a divine aspect of her and a mortal one.
Same.
So it kind of works, right? It kind of works.
Yeah, totally.
Well, okay, then let's try and do it the other way and see if it works as well, going from Wuthering Waves to Destiny. Okay. So, yeah, I think let's do this one. It's set in defiance to a tyrannical god that's basically trying to oppress everyone.
Right.
And the line is, false divinity, suffer my disobedience.
Oh. Absolutely. That's nice. I like that. Well, so again, there's a dual kind of like pseudo divine nature to Lodi as well, where he like at times so that fits very easily into the mouth of, say, like 9, the sun, right? So there's that. So try both. Like, so I mean, the sun would be like, false divinity, suffer my disobedience. Well, that's when he's being saucy. But so, and then Lodi, gosh, let's see, like, false divinity, suffer my disobedience, which is just like a guy trying to say it.
But I
I don't
love
know.
that. I feel like that's something he would say and then just like, fire a bomb into it or something, like you just
Yeah, yeah,
do
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely epic.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, speaking of, being attracted to like these scoundrel characters, do you have
Mm.
like a dream role? Like it doesn't have to be a specific character, but is there a kind of role that you would love to be able to take on in the future?
Sure. Yeah, like I love Batman or something, but I'm like,
Mm,
I should not play Batman.
mm.
100%, 100,000%. But yeah, I don't know. I really like just sort of like the exact opposite of Lodi, like,
Mm.
very kind of cold or like, not that they don't have their own psychology, but that's what I find fascinating about it is like
Yeah.
the sort of like acting again, I think is just like the ultimate exercise in empathy, where you're just kind of like, all right, well, this person's perspective is now my perspective, and it's interesting to try that on.
Okay, to round this up before we get too
Yes.
silly, let's go to the silliest bit of it, which is, talking about community interaction. So we spoke a bit about already how, maybe when you were first introduced or when Lodi was first introduced, because it was more about the character than you, I think, people were a little hesitant and now they've sort of embraced him. But I saw that you actually posted on your own social
Yeah.
media like a highlight of some of the funniest, what shall we call, like Lodi heckling that was sort
Yeah,
of
like
happening.
just like yeah, like they were kind of roasts early on.
Yeah, yeah,
Really.
yeah. I mean, they're all absolutely amazing. Did you have like a favorite out of the ones, like one that really just made you laugh? Because there were some ruthless ones.
Yeah, really, really great. There were ones where like he like
There's one here where
very
it's like,
specific.
this guy
Here,
belongs behind a desk in a windowless office and drives a 7-year-old Kia, which was incredibly specific.
very specific, and I also drive a 5-year-old Kia.
Oh, okay. So I mean, the
So I
timeline
was
was
like,
wrong, but otherwise,
not wrong, not really. Well, yeah, I'm not. I'm in behind a desk right now.
yeah.
Yeah. The community is yeah, very passionate, definitely, but they also like they create so much art, so much incredible,
Yeah.
incredible art. And there has been, I mean, just beautiful, breathtaking art. Yeah. So here are the ones I posted. This one says Lodi, spelled Lodi.
Yeah.
These are again like first blush impressions, like just right off the like they showed this picture.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then someone was like, he is vegan, a bodybuilder, a D&D DM, and enjoys painting his excessive collection of Warhammer miniatures. He's also the most extroverted at the party, and so sweet to everyone, but loves a bit of gossip and will absolutely talk shit behind your back.
I love that. That's a whole narrative.
I mean, that's not entirely accurate. There was a lot where it was like, he's this guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's Lamborghini
Back.
salesman. Well, I mean that sounds like a very creative community. I think that's what's so amazing about being in games. I think there's just such a I think gamers are more fun sometimes than film audiences in the sense that like, the memes, the jokes, the stories, the content, the art. I feel like it's just there's more of that when you're working in games than if you're just in a film.
You spend so much time
Yeah.
in a game relative to a movie, unless you watch it 1,000 times, which I've also done. But like, you are also there is this sense that you're creating your own story.
Yeah.
Even if that is guided, even if it's on like rails or whatever, like in some cases you very much create your own story within the parameters that you're given. And in something like Destiny, like you customize your character. There's like, there's like the whole fashion aspect of it where you're like, my character looks like this and that is me. To the point where like when you see, and this is all brilliant and either by design or became by design after happening organically, but like you see your character in a cutscene next to characters that you've been, that you love, and it gives me like the first time I saw my Guardian talking to Lodi, or the first time I saw like my Guardian hanging out or talking with Cade and
Yeah.
he's just like, you were my favorite.
You're my favorite. Don't ever forget that.
I'm like, oh, that's me. That's literally everyone. He's talking to everybody. Be like, no, but he's like really talking to me. And
Yeah.
it's just you get such a personal investment in it, and that's what's beautiful. I mean, like truly, that's what the goal, again, of the art is to connect, and then you connect. So when you are fortunate to connect this strongly, It's about connection.
It really is. And I'm sure that the Destiny community
Friendship
is very, very happy to have someone like you who is, happy to engage, who is happy to stream and, laugh at the memes and be part of that. I mean, I know certainly that's been my experience, that people are very, very excited when other people who've worked on the project, that they love the game that they love, or even plays the character that they love, that, that they are also not just, well, this is my day job, or, but they really engage with the story themselves, and they really respect it, and they see what the players see, and they're like, yeah, I get it. It's great. And not just from a job perspective, also like, I now enjoy the story on its own merits as a fellow player. I think that really means a lot to people.
It is my job, but like, I think we're fortunate. We're just so utterly fortunate to have what I'm assuming is the thing that you love. I love doing this, and to have that as your job is just I mean, just a absolute privilege and a blessing, and it's an honor to take any part in something this lovingly made.
I mean, I don't think I could have said that any better. So I think that's a pretty good place to start rounding it up. I mean, I am so grateful for your time today. Where can viewers follow you if they want to, get the news and the memes and the streams? We've said you are Robocop on Twitch and X.
I am on, I'm on Instagram and what else? All those things.
We will find Robocop. All of your social media handles and put them in the description so that people can follow you. Honestly, again, just thank you so much for being here. You've been such a lovely person to chat with. Time has flown by. I have certainly enjoyed it. And I hope you have too. And thank you for having such a beautiful space background as well. That's been very soothing.
Yes,
I feel like I was there with you.
I've developed it over eons. It took a lot of temperature and pressure, and it's been a journey, but we're here. No, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind invitation. You're wonderful to talk to. Thank you for speaking Danish.
Wow.
Great.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you everyone for watching. Let us know in the comments if you have any other requests for voice actors you'd like to have on the show, or if you have any questions for Brian, and he may or may not see them. But thank you for joining us as always, and to you, Brian. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Have a great one.
Thank you. I'll stop recording.